Alright, what's going on, Vima Team Familiar? This is Diego coming to basically just going to explain the part 2 of inviting process, you guys. So I'm going to go over the 4 emotional rules of inviting and then basically just an 8-step, professional process for an invitation. Alright, now the 4 emotional rules for inviting. You have to emotionally detach yourself from the outcome, okay? You really can't fall in love with potential. You can't be the person that says, oh man, if this person gets involved, he's going to kill it, because you never really actually know, okay? But at the same time, don't prejudge it. Also, rule number 2, you guys, be yourself. Okay, when you're inviting, don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to act like anything different. Just be yourself, but obviously be your best self. Be energetic and bring your passion, you guys. That's step number 3. Bring your passion. Don't be so focused on using the right words that you forget your passion. Okay, remember, for an invitation, you want to focus more on how you say it than what you say. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, all right? Now, number 4, you guys, posture is important. Posture, you have to think about this. Whenever you invite someone, okay, think about your best friend in the whole world, and that you haven't seen them in over a year, and your best friend is just getting off an airplane, okay? Greet people with that type of energy, okay? People do business with people that they like. When you are happy and energetic, people will most likely have the attitude of, what the hell are you taking? I want some, So people will start asking you questions as you exude, that type of energy. Now, here's the 8 steps for a professional invitation, and I would suggest for you guys to write this down. The first step, you guys, is for you guys to be in a hurry, okay? Say something like, listen, I don't have a lot of time, okay? And here are the reasons as to why, this first step is very, very essential, okay? It's a psychological issue, okay? People are attracted to people that are non-needy, all right? It makes for a shorter invitation, okay? And it also lessens questions, and it lessens resistance, okay? Now, people will start to, obviously respect your time, and they will respect your, you respect what you're doing. Okay. Now, examples for warm market, you guys. Hey, listen, I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it's really important for me to reach you. Do you have a minute? Okay. Or I'm running out the door, but I really need to talk to you. Do you have a minute? Okay. Now, for cold market, how is it that you do this for cold market? Now, this would be in a situation for, let's say you're in a restaurant and you have a great server, okay? All you have to do is, hey, now isn't the time to get into this, but I have to go, but and then just go into the next thing, or I've got to run in the next thing, okay? Now, what you want to focus on, step number 1, which is obviously be in a hurry, you guys. You want to focus on the concept, not the exact words. You have to be busy, okay? You have a lot going on, okay? You want people to see that you have a lot going on. You're excited, okay? And your time is short. Okay? Now, step number 2 is compliment the prospect, you guys. This is critical, okay? Because it opens the door to communication, it builds instant rapport, and it will double your results overnight, okay? Now, an example for a warm market, let's say you're talking to, a great family friend or, a good friend, okay? Let's say you would say something like, you've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. Just compliment them in a genuine manner, okay? Or say something like, you have an amazing mind for business and you can see things that other people don't see, okay? Now, examples for cold market prospecting, you guys. Something like, you've given me some of the best service I've ever received. That would be for someone that's your server. I've actually done this a lot whenever I go to Subway. I say things like, hey, this isn't really the time to get into it, but I just recognize the fact that you're one of the most attentive, service I've had. I was wondering, and then you go on to the next step, okay? Say something like, you're super sharp, may I ask what you do for a living? Okay, something like that, you guys. Focus on where you want to focus on step number 2. You want to focus on, first off, being sincere. You want to be genuine about what you say. Finding something that you really like about them, okay? Professionals do this constantly. It is difficult for a prospect to be negative after they've been complimented. So it'll be difficult for a prospect, okay, to give you the wrong, a negative feedback after you've complimented them. Accent. So step number 3, okay? Make the invitation. There's 3 types of invitations that you're going to make. It's either going to be a direct approach, indirect approach, or super indirect approach, okay? Direct approach is basically for people that you have influence over, okay? Now, this is for people that look up to you, and these are some of the warm market approaches that I would use, okay? For example, let's say you talk to one of your friends and they say something about, they want to get out of their job, or they want to get a new house, or this and that. I would say something like, when you told me that you wanted to get out of your job, were you serious about that, or just kidding around? Because I think I found a way for you to get out of it, okay? Maybe solve the problem or make that happen, okay? maybe I think I found a way for us to really boost our cash flow. Okay, when I thought of people that I could make an absolute fortune with a business that I just found, I thought of you. Okay, let me ask you a question off the record, so just between you and I. If there was a business that you could start off working part-time from your home that could replace your current income, would that interest you? Okay, those are some of the direct approach invites that I would use, you guys. Now, for cold market, I would use things like, have you ever thought about diversifying your income? Or do you plan on doing what you're doing for the rest of your career? Okay, that really gets people thinking. Most people really don't want to do what they're currently doing if they're working at a menial job for the rest of their career. Okay, now, indirect approach, you guys. This is for warm market, okay? Now, this is great for family and close friends, all right? Say something like, I've just started on a new business and I'm really, really nervous, but before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? Okay? When you practice on them, obviously you're still pitching them. They're still going to get the information. It's just they don't feel like you're pitching it to them. You're just practicing, but they're still getting the information, all right? Now, cold market prospecting, okay? Here's the approach that I would use for indirect approaching, all right? I found a business I'm really, really excited about, but what do I know? Okay, you have so much more experience. Would you look at it for me and let me know what your opinion is? Okay, or I have a business that is expanding in your area. Would you do me a favor and take a look at it so you can give me your opinion of whether or not it'll be successful in your area? Okay, now look for accents. Most of the time, you might find someone that has an Indian accent, Latin accent, Hispanic accent, whatever. Okay, just ask them. I have an international business. Is this something that you'd be interested about? Doing from from wherever you're from. Okay. Now this is super indirect approach. This is for highly influential people, guys. This isn't for people that you have influence over. It's for people that you feel like have influence over you. So this is the warm market approach. Okay. The business I'm clearly in isn't for you. Okay. But I wanted to ask, who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, and is excited about an idea of adding more cash flow to their lives? Okay. Obviously, at that point, they start thinking, okay, well, who's money motivated? Okay, they start thinking of people, and then they just think back to themselves, like, I'm money motivated. What do you have to offer? Okay, without you having to directly approach them, they still get themselves into the picture. Okay, now the second way I would use would be, who do you know that has hit a wall in their business and might be looking for a way to diversify their income? That is a great way for you to obviously take a different approach. This can be done with real estate agents, sales people from whatever dealership you go to, just for highly influential people, you guys. Now, the third one would be, I work with a company that is expanding in your area, and I'm looking for some sharp people that might be interested in adding some additional cash flow. Do you know anyone who might fit that description? If you can guide me to some sharp people, I will make it worth your while. Okay, I'll send you some referrals, whatever. Okay, that's just a professional, super indirect approach. All right, now the fourth step, you guys, is the question that is by far like the most important question in network marketing, which is, if I would you. Okay, this has been a secret weapon for decades. Okay, and the reason for that is because it's reciprocal. Okay, meaning if basically the mindset is, I'm not willing to give you anything until you decide to make a commitment with me, okay? Puts you in a place of power and control, and you have something of value, and you value yourself. Okay, so for example would be, if I would give you the CD, would you watch it? If I would give you this DVD, would you watch it? If I give you this magazine, would you watch it? If I gave you a link to a website with a complete presentation, would you check it out? If I invited you to a special invitation only webinar, would you attend? If I invited you to a special invitation only conference call, would you attend? And that's when you give them the access code, you guys. Okay, that's step number 4. Alright? Now step number 5 is getting time commitment. Okay? Getting their time commitment. So examples would be like, after you ask them, if I give you the CD, would you watch it? Okay? They say yes. When do you think would be the best time for you to watch it for sure? Okay? Or when do you think you could listen to the CD for sure? Don't suggest a time for them. Don't make the appointment for them. Ask a question and then wait, and then just wait, and that makes it real. And now they've said yes twice, okay? Now, step number 6, you guys, it's basically confirmation number 2. You confirm time commitment, okay? If they say they'll watch the DVD by Tuesday night, your response should be, so if I called you Wednesday morning, you'll have seen it for sure, correct? Okay? They will adjust. They will either say yes or they will adjust, okay? They've now confirmed confirmed 3 times now. You've asked the questions, their answers made the appointment for you. Okay. Now, step number 7 is schedule the call. Okay, schedule the next call, you guys. This step is simple. You just ask, what is the best number and time for me to call? Okay, and now they've said yes 4 times, your numbers should go from 5% to 80% with this step, alright? And then after that, you get off the phone. So if I was, on the phone call with someone, I'd be like, hey, listen, this isn't really the best time to talk. I'm in a hurry, but I needed to get a hold of you for a minute. Do you have a minute to talk? Okay, awesome. Hey, listen, were you serious about, making a change in your life? I know that you said that you wanted to get out of a job. Were you serious about that, or were you just kidding around? Okay, awesome. Well, I think I might have just found something. Listen, if I were to give you a CD that would explain everything about the company, would you watch it? Okay? Yes. Okay. They say yes to you, and you would just be like, okay. So when would be a good time for you to watch the video? Okay? They gave you a time, and then let's say they say Tuesday at 7 p.m. Okay. So if I were to call you Tuesday at 9 p.m., would you have seen it for sure? Okay. After that, if they say yes, just be like, okay, what's the best time and number for me to reach you? Right there, you've already made a very professional invitation. They've made the commitment for you. There's no questions, there's no restrictions, there's no resistance, nothing like that. And all you have to do is just give them the DVD and then follow up. That's it, okay? Another thing that I wanted you guys to focus on is whatever you can't defend, promote, okay? Remember, in this company, we don't care about where you've been. We only care about where you're going. Okay, so if there's things in the past that you're not exactly proud about, for example, maybe you filed for bankruptcy, maybe you were living a lifestyle that you didn't want to live, don't hide behind the mistakes, you guys. Promote them. Okay, just say, hey, listen, I know that I've made some mistakes back then, but I'm ready to make a change, and this is gonna happen regardless. Okay, when you have that do or die attitude, most people will want to follow you. Okay, so with that, that's the end of the invite process, you guys. Hopefully this helped a lot, and rack 'em.